Before I proceed with this video, I have to warn you, we're about to take a look at a lot of garage doors, okay? I'm not joking, there will be a lot of them. But of course, there'll be pay-to-win, transparent, see-through designs that I'm sure a lot of you are going to be very curious about. But by all means, if you just want to skip ahead to a certain skin that might have caught your eye, you might be surprised by a certain skin that you never even realised had transparency. Consider looking in the description, scroll down, not only will we have lots of details, but more specifically, you'll see all the chapters, you'll see what we're talking about. And again, by all means, if you want to skip ahead, I'll provide that to you. And so that, good day, Rustic enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright, because it's time for another transparent door video. So of course, last week, as you can see there, we uploaded the transparent wooden door video. We saw some very interesting single doors and double doors, as you can see there with the thumbnail. But of course today, we're here to talk about garage doors. And I can't help but assume a lot of people are going to be very curious about this. Again, I referenced it last week, but I'll say it again. This is one of the best performing videos I've ever had. See-through mesh garage door skin showcase, August 27, 2022. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference in time from there and now. So I'm sitting here, April 25, 2026, and yeah, it's been almost 4 years since then, and we have seen a lot more garage doors with transparency since then. I'd like to also just sit here and say thank you to Micro, who not only helped me out with this video over here, but over the years has taught me and showcased to me how to look at garage doors in various different ways to understand how to utilize them and how to get the benefits with the transparency. So thank you very much, good sir. And of course, based on what I've learned from you, we'll be showcasing that today. I'm not joking when I say we have a lot of garage doors to take a look at today. Like, we might be here for an hour. I'm not joking. But of course, I'll separate the categories. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the special Twitch drops and of course, charity skins of the past. The skins you can't get anymore, unfortunately. Depending if Face Punch potentially does anything about that, we'll see anyway. And then of course, after that, I'll be showcasing all the marketable garage doors. The skins that you can still get a hold of nowadays if you were to look at the Steam market, or of course you could also look at third-party sites if you so wish. I'd just like to clarify, if I happen to miss any doors, if I make any mistakes, I do apologise ahead of time. But of course, in the future, there will be more transparent doors being accepted. There will be more Twitch drops. There will be kick drops. So of course, if there are going to be any new additions, the idea is for every transparent video, I'll just go have a little pinned comment right here, and I'll add short videos for every single brand new skin. So, right, keep an eye out for that, especially if you're watching in the future. Now, before we jump in and take a look at all of those garage doors, I thought, you know what? I should go ahead and showcase some very useful databases that have every single Rust skin. So if you want to search specifically for garage doors, well, as you can see right here, this is Scmm.app. This is the item database section. If I were to go ahead and search for, a specific type, garage doors, for example, boom, there you go. Every single garage door that was ever added to Rust. We have so many that we have 3 pages worth. But of course, we specifically want to look for all of the transparent designs. Well, if you just look at the tags here, you notice we have cutout. That's another way of saying transparent. I click that, boom. All of the transparent garage doors. You'd think. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a problem. Not all of the pay-to-win, transparent, see-through designs are actually right here. It hasn't noticed all of them. But don't worry, I know of all of them. I have double-checked, I have triple-checked. I'm pretty confident I have every single garage door for this video with see-through mesh transparency. So, what this also happens to have are some of the garage doors that have had an interesting cosmetic change. Now in garage doors, we have the little notches to the side where the wheel is. Some of the skin creators of the past, they made that transparent. So it considers that to be transparent. Oh, okay then. Well, yeah, don't worry. I double checked. I know I have all the garage doors that we actually want to see. I should also just quickly point this out. So let's just click this again. By default, you'll see all of the garage doors. And as I said, there's actually 3 pages worth because we have so many of them, right? It's ridiculous. But what happens if we're on like page 2 or page 3 and then we click cutout? Well, unfortunately, because there isn't 2 or 3 pages worth of transparent garage doors, it doesn't know what to do. So make sure that when you search them, like so, yeah, make sure on page 1, because there's only 1 page worth of transparent garage doors. So yeah, I know some people will probably make that mistake. Just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. And of course, we also happen to have Rusthelp.com, specifically the skin section. Now, if I go over to here and select an item type, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Come on, there you go. Garage door. Lovely. So here's all the garage doors. And of course, we have tags as well. So let's just click transparency. And there we go. Awesome. But based on what we just saw on SCMM a second ago, we have the same issues. Not all of the garage doors were super helpful. Transparency, free mesh transparency are visible here. And we also happen to have some garage doors here with transparency only on the side panels on the side. So don't you worry. I have gone through the effort to double check, triple check, just to make sure I actually have all the garage doors that we want to see today. All right, let's go ahead and give you a quick little preview of the stage. So I'm sure many of you are fully well aware. Transparent garage doors come in various different designs. And one thing we want to make sure with this video is that you get a real good look at all of them. You walk away realizing that, oh, hang on a minute, I could properly utilize these garage doors in different ways with different types of builds in my base. Yeah. I don't want to just look at the garage door. I want to make sure you get a real good look at it. I want to make sure that you know how to properly utilize it. So a great thanks to the people that are watching me recently or making sure we did a good job with this. Making sure we got a good idea of how to build the stage. So now, let's go ahead and discuss all the Twitch drops and the charity skins. Alright then, so first of all, the first few skins we're about to showcase, they are Twitch drops and charity skins only. And I must repeat, I'm sorry to say, that you can't get these anymore. They were only available for a certain amount of time, and now they're gone. Again, maybe things might change in the future, but that's up to Face Punch. And so first of all, our first Twitch drop is the RAD Garage Door. You might recall in the previous video we showcased the wooden door, a very interesting transparent glow-in-the-dark design. Of course, you probably could tell what's about to appear here. But yep, this apparently was called Rise Against Disorder. Someone did comment that in the previous video, so alright, I'll take a word for it. Created by Divadan. Let's hop in game and give this a good look. Now don't forget to comment below if you picked up these Twitch drops from years ago, because, well, in this particular instance, back in early 2023, we were pleasantly surprised to find out we're getting this for absolutely free. This has head height transparency, and yes, the second we saw this, we were like, what? So, yeah, that happened, and everybody was going crazy. But yeah, this is a very nice, very colourful looking design. Sticky notes for the R, the A, and the D, much like what we saw with the wooden door previously. But with the wooden door, the transparency is where the I was. Not in this particular instance, but to be honest with you, it's not like we need it. That right there is madness. So, of course, since then we have seen some more Twitch drops. We have seen very similar amounts of transparency. But yeah, back then, the first time we saw something like this, yeah, I guess you could say people were quite surprised. Oh, yes, indeed. So, awesome. And then if we just pan back a bit, get a good look at the whole design right there. And if we could just also just slowly make it nighttime. First of all, dusk/dawn. Let's just take that in. Somewhat reflective with the light in the background. About back over to here. Well, you don't really notice the dawn, the dusk that much, so let's make it total darkness now. Yeah, let's get that moon up. Here we go. So, yeah, a very interesting glow-in-the-dark design. Do you happen to already have this? Well, I mean, did you get it when it was available? Did you realise how useful it was? Go for a comment below. Right then, so of course we can see that just by standing in front of it, that happens to be nice and helpful. A very interesting looking design. As I said just a little bit earlier, when we gave you a quick preview of the whole design of the stage, I was informed that we should properly showcase these garage doors in various ways. So of course we'll be showcasing jump ups and of course, an elevated height as well. So first of all, why have I got basically the same, the same design like so, but with the garage doors flipped? Well, this is actually a great example. So, first of all, from this side, looking up, yeah, you get a lovely bit of vision right there. That's helpful. Same can be said with this as well. Perhaps one might be a little bit better compared to the other. Well, do take note the positions that they're in, because it might be more of a case of, well, what about if I'm on top of here, looking down? And immediately you'll notice we don't get as much vision here compared to what we have over here. So that's with the garage door facing that way, and that right here is with the garage door facing this way. So looking down, that might be a bit of a concern there. So, of course, you have to take that into consideration when you're built in such a way. So, yep, that's a lot of vision. And, of course, I can see quite a lot of, well, legs. I could easily see a pair of 2 legs there. And over here, I can see feet. I don't get to see that much. With all due respect, there's someone else standing here. You're in the way. But, no, they have to be there just so we can get a good look to see if we can actually see them. So, all right, cool. And, of course, alternatively, we've built this way as well. Did you notice there's transparency right here in the bottom middle? Well, now you know. As you'll see, someone standing there. I mean, you probably would have noticed. But let's just say there's walls on each side. Yeah, well, now you can tell someone's just sitting there waiting for you. So, all right, cool. At least you know now how you might be able to make use of this and how to potentially properly utilize this. So, all right, cool. A very nice looking Twitch drop. Next, it's a hJune Twitch drop. So you might recall over the course of the many years with Trust and Rust, we've had some very interesting skins being given away. But coincidentally, at the same time as the RAD Twitch drops, yep, the wooden door, the garage door we just saw, at the same time, we also had hJune's garage door. 2 transparent garage doors being given away for absolutely free at the exact same time. Early 2023. So let's just give you a nice quick little preview. This just so happened to be made by Schwanzber and Mishka. Get a good look at that. But of course, let's hop in game and get a much better look at it. Get a good look at that. So of course you might notice instantly where the transparency is. It's just basically a hole. And to be honest with you, I'll give him credit. At least he just didn't put his face in it. Didn't just put his logo in it. It's somewhat artistic. Yes. So, thoughts? Opinions? I mean, it's lots of cracks. A nice colourful approach. And if I just quickly go ahead and just make it darker. Come on, sunlight, don't be afraid. There we go. Just a little bit shy, it doesn't want to do it super quickly. There you go, right? So around dusk/dawn, you'll start to notice the glow starting to appear. As we make it darker and darker and darker, there you go. So, with the transparency literally just being like a hole in the middle, does it work? Of course, with how we built the stage and whatnot, you're about to go ahead and find out. So let's just make it daytime again. Come on. And of course, boom. Let's start moving around. So, this is rather awkward. It was awkward when I first looked at it, and it's still somewhat awkward now. But people got this for absolutely free. Including, of course, that at the same time as well. So no one was really complaining. A lot of people were very happy. But yeah, does this work in regards to the other, like, build approaches? Well, immediately you'll notice, yeah, that hole appears to be, like, below the halfway point. So I can't see through that. I can see through underneath, though. Yeah, there you go. Huh. Interesting. So, probably not as useful compared to what we had just a second ago. But, again, I'm sure some people might be able to figure it out. And then, of course, over to here. Yep. Not the best, and no hidden transparency on the bottom. So, alright, cool. At the very least, we can hop up here just to get the point across. Yeah, I can't see anything. I mean, I could crouch down and go, oh, wow, I can see stuff. I can see the top of that hat. Wow. But yes, point made. Yeah, I think we've got the idea. So, all right then. Understood. It's a perfectly fine looking garage door. But in terms of helpful transparency, it's a bit questionable. But still, you can offer your opinion. What do you think? Feel free to comment below. Now this is something different. You might recall in the previous video, we showcased a very interesting Charitable Rust 2023 wooden double door. That glowed in the dark, that had transparency. Well, the same can be said with this garage door right over to here. However, that's not a Twitch drop, that was available in the Rust store. There was a select few interesting designs. They're not tradable, they're not marketable, and they were literally only available for 1 week. This was priced at $5. It was a very special looking garage door. But once it's gone, it's gone. And that's exactly what happened. So, how about we now hop in game give this a good look, and, well, you can comment below if you're upset that you missed out on this. So as I mentioned, whilst we had Charitable Rust 2023 taking place, the word Twitch drops being given away for absolutely free. For 4 select skins were in the Rust store, priced fairly highly, but all proceeds to help to go towards charity water, as you can see right there. So an interesting submarine aquatic theme, and a very interesting amount of transparency right there. Oh, that's a lovely looking blue sky. Yes, indeed. Lots of gadgets, lots of buttons, and you've even got like a world map right there. That was a very cool looking garage door. At this specific time, we didn't really have that many transparent designs. So, yeah, that was appealing. Yeah, it was $5. But once it's gone, it's gone. And you can't get that anymore, can you? God, this whole video just feels like a tease. So far. Don't worry. The later portion of this video will be showcasing a lot of garage doors that are still marketable, that you can still purchase. So, alright then. So, yeah, an interesting approach. A lovely looking design. Unfortunately, I can't credit who made it because they weren't listed. Let's just get a quick look at this at night time. First of all, we make it dusk/dawn. And you notice with the sunlight in the background, it does appear to be quite reflective. Notably the reflection you see here. But of course, in total darkness, let's get a good look at that moon. Yeah. And it glows in the dark ever so nicely. So opinions, please. Do you like what you see? Did you miss out on this? So okay, cool. How about we now go ahead and look at it in first person. So daytime again, please. There we go. Oop. Right, let's get up nice and close. First of all, I can confirm to you that is reasonably head height transparency. It is a little bit higher up, but you can probably tell that's going to be pretty useful. So, okay. Cool. Lovely bit of vision right there. But of course, if you're to build in a certain way, can it be utilised? First of all, I can see up perfectly fine there. Again, you've only got like one window in the middle, but you've got enough vision to work with there. I think people would be pleased with that. And then, of course, over to here. Yep, pretty much the exact same thing. So from the opposite side, how's it look? And that is a lovely amount of transparency. You can see so much right there. Lovely. And of course, from this side, unfortunately, you do have a little bit, a little portion of it being obstructive. But I can still see quite a lot there. I do still have quite a lot of vision. I can still see legs. So, okay then, cool. Again, showcasing the difference based on which way you have the garage door. So, yeah, alright, cool. And once again, I can look up and see more than enough right there. So, alright, cool. A very interesting and very useful garage door. But of course, does it have transparency here? And based on what I see, no. It's just literally the very middle of the hole right there. So, okay. Well, let's jump up here then, just to get an extra look. But I can confirm to you, whilst you might notice what we see in every single garage door built in such a way, the little slit at the bottom. In terms of the actual garage door design, there's no portion of it that happens to have transparency. Just right there. Right then. Well, that's a perfectly fine Charitable Rust design. What else do we happen to have to showcase? Well. You might have noticed it on the thumbnail. The Rustified garage door. Well, more specifically, it's the Charitable Rust 2024 garage door. This was a Twitch drop. So for all the people that missed out with the previous garage door, don't worry, there you go. So a very noticeably bright glow-in-the-dark design, which also happens to have some ridiculous amount of transparency. And to truly understand and respect it, we will have to hop in game and get a good look at it. Just to confirm, this right here was produced by Dark Schneider and Zed Skipper. It's a very nice looking design, and well, we're going to have to go ahead and showcase. So let's hop back in game and get a good look at this. Appearing in the later half of 2024, we were pleasantly surprised to see such a thing. A lot of people were very hyped up. Instantly we noticed, oh, well, that's an interesting amount of transparency to the sides there. But it gets even better than that, don't you worry. So yeah, get a good look at this. Perfectly fine looking Twitch drop. A perfectly fine looking garage door. And props to Rustified. I'm sure a lot of people have been appreciating this over the years. Now, of course, let's go ahead. Dusk. It's not exactly super reflective. I mean, you got a little portion right there. Okay, fair enough. Well, how does it look in total darkness? As I said, it's pretty obvious that it happened to glow in the dark very brightly. That is a very noticeable garage door right there. So how many people here managed to pick this up for absolutely free? I'm sure we had plenty of people playing back in late 2024. So, alright, cool. But now, of course, let's make it daytime again. Let's go ahead and showcase this in first-person view. Yeah, that's head height transparency, basically. I mean, you might want to crouch a little bit just so you can get a real good look. I can confirm that person is wearing a hat. But yeah, both sides, plenty of transparency. So, yeah, a lot of people took a liking to this. A lot of people were very pleased to see this. Maybe not everybody. Because now you can't easily creep up, in front of the door. Hope to see, or rather, hope that nobody spots you is what I'm saying. I mean, it might be a bit of a struggle, but, I see people. Maybe if you hide literally in the middle there, people might not be able to spot you. But yes, very helpful, very handy, and absolutely free. Now, over to here, well, you might instantly notice, it wasn't high enough. Yeah. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look as if you could get that much vision. But I think we might be pleasantly surprised when we look at it from that side. Yep, looking upwards, I can actually see a decent amount. I can see a nefarious individual with a silly-looking hat just standing over there. Right then, so, over on this side. Oh, good jump, Hedge. Right, there we go. I can't see a thing. It is impossible. But over to here. Oh, yeah, no, I do get quite a lot of vision. Yep, that actually isn't too bad. That is actually pretty good. Obviously, based on the amount of transparency that should be available, it's a bit questionable. But even when I'm below here, looking up, you only see so much there. And then, of course, over to here, a little bit more, which is a bit odd. There shouldn't be that much of a difference there. There really shouldn't. It's basically the same. So you do see a decent amount when you look up, and you do see a decent amount when you look down when it's facing this way. Not sure if that's going to really make that much of a difference to you, but at least you are aware. And then, of course, it's built at an elevated level. I'd just like to confirm to you the transparency is literally just on the sides. Just on the sides. That is it. If I was to go ahead and jump up here. Yeah. Whilst the transparency is very nice, there's no transparency in any other portion. So, hey, at least you're aware. And once again, thank you very much, Charitable Rust, for the very nice, lovely looking doors. And now it's time to showcase to you the Rusticated garage door. So back in April 2025, Facepunch decided to go ahead and highlight all the server providers by allowing them to have their very own Twitch drop. And Rusticated, they happen to get a very nice looking garage door. So, as you can see here, produced by Diva Dan, this actually was a very nice, interesting approach, a lovely bit of glow, and two notable sides with a lovely bit of transparency. So, of course, to truly appreciate it, let's hop in game, give it a good look, and you can tell me how much you like it. How rustic? Would that be appropriate to say right about now? Well, you know what I can say right now? When this appeared as a Twitch drop, so many people are greatly appreciating getting this for absolutely free. I gotta say, with the tuna can lamps in the middle for a bit of glow in the dark, that was clever. That was a nice touch. So, Rusticated garage door. This is the most recent garage door transparency. Did you manage to get it? I know there's quite a lot of people here that probably missed out in the first few that we've already showcased. But surely you got this right. And surely you're pleased with the fact that you got it. Because as you might notice, with the various different ways you might build your base, that definitely can be utilised in a very interesting manner. Yes, yes, yes. So, what I reckon we should do now is just quickly go ahead and showcase this in dusk and at night time. So let's just go over to here, showcase it like that, and of course, slowly make it darker. So it's dusk/dawn. It doesn't appear to be very reflective at all. Okay, cool. I mean, we're like getting up right this side and all that. No, no reflection. So, okay, cool. Say no more. Let's make it total darkness. And I'm not joking when I say, those tuna can lamps, it's a lovely little touch. Let's just make the moon go all the way up over to there. Look at all of that glow. The whole thing glows. Clever. Nice. And it was available for absolutely free. So, once again, I ask you, did you manage to pick it up? And are you still using it to this day? Because as of now, still waiting for another transparent garage door Twitch drop to appear for absolutely free. Hey, it could be a kick drop. It could be a kick drop. That was appreciated. Right then, so let's now go ahead and look at this in first person. So, back to daytime. There we go. Right. And boom. Okay, so. Yeah, the transparency was head height. You get a lot of vision out of that. So, yeah. People were appreciating. People were liking. But here, instantly you notice, yeah, this might be pretty useful. Some jump ups. Okay. Not too bad. This side as well. Looking pretty good. Vision, very helpful. Then we jump up to here. We look down. Again, same thing. There is a bit of obstruction. There is a bit of obstruction. But then over on this side, yeah, no, that's a lot better. That's a lot more useful. Okay. So that's a good look. That's an interesting little showcase. Have you been using these garage doors in such a way? Have you been using them? Have you been enjoying them? And then, of course, no transparency in the lower portion. It's literally only on those two sides right there. So, okay, cool. We'll jump up just to properly showcase that, yeah, no transparency in the bottom portion. But I don't think anyone's really complaining. Right then. So that's it. That's all the Twitch drops and the charity skins. Out of all the ones we've showcased, which one happened to be most favourite? Now it's time to showcase all the marketable garage doors. So I reiterate, every single garage door that we're about to showcase to you is available to you right now. It might cost quite a fair bit. Maybe it doesn't cost that much. We have a variety of garage doors. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if at least one or two of these garage doors that we're about to showcase to you didn't even realise actually has transparency. So feel free to comment below if you were surprised with certain skins today. What I'll also do is I'll provide the Scmm pages, like you can see right here. They will be linked in the description as well, because you can also see the third-party listings here as well, if you want to potentially look for a cheaper option if it's available. So, shall we get started? The joint first ever garage door skin to be accepted into Rust was the Defense Garage Door. That right there, well, if we could just switch over, just so happened to be an X-Tab skin, one of the most prolific and successful skin creators we have ever seen in Rust. And as you can see in the Steam market right now, it's currently priced at around $3. So, let's hop in game, give it a good look, and let's see how it looks. And now here we are. We're half of the people now facing the other way. Whoops. Anyway, it's all good. We can still see them. We can easily still see them. Now, I'm not joking when I say this was joint first. The first ever garage door skin to be accepted into Rust. There's two at the same time. And immediately, we got pay-to-win features. We got transparency. But transparency at the bottom of the garage door. How are you going to make use of that? Well, we did say we're going to build in different ways so you can best figure out how to utilize them properly. So with a simple jump up, oh, I can see a naughty individual right there. Now, if you're a little bit surprised by the price, yeah, it's old. And in the past, we didn't really have that many transparent garage doors, did we? But of course, with numerous Twitch drops, numerous charity skins, and of course a lot more being accepted in Rust doors. Well, they're not so special anymore, are they? But still, $3? Quite a surprise, isn't it? And again, in the future, after this video is out there, we'll see what happens after this. Now, dusk/dawn, not exactly super, like, shiny or reflective. And you better get used to this site, because this doesn't glow. All the Twitch drops in the garage and the charity skins did, but no, not this. You're going to start seeing a lot of garage doors that don't glow. You know what? Maybe a lot of people out there might appreciate that. At least you know. Maybe you don't want your garage door to be seen at night time. Okay, fair enough then. Right, let's now take control. Start crouching. So at the very least, you'll be able to find out if someone's like creeping all the way up to your garage door, hoping that you don't notice them. Again, you don't have to have a garage door like this up all the time. Just use your spray can. Quickly switch. Ah, I got you. Maha. So, doesn't appear to be best used in regards to this. Of course, yeah, you can see quite a lot when you're down here, but not when you're up here. Nope. Nope. So, alright then. Of course, what we want to do is see how much vision we get here. And yeah, I can see that person perfectly fine. At least reasonably. I know there's a person there. Let's just go with that. And then up here, yep, I can see there's a person down there as well. So yeah, a perfectly fine garage door with transparency on the bottom. So, are you impressed? Are you surprised with the price? So, did you know the other joint first ever garage door skin to be accepted also happened to be a transparent garage door? Yep, Chop Shop Garage Door. Now the difference with prices is quite noticeable. This has been around for quite some time. It has been appreciated, and its price, it's done pretty good retaining. Produced by Stabby McStabface, this right now is currently priced at around $40. With all due respect, that's a bit of a straggler. If that suddenly disappeared, it looks as if it's comfortably at around $50. So, yeah, quite the difference in price with the first two skins. So let's hop in game, give it a good look, and you can tell me how much you happen to like it. Quite the difference indeed. Now, the transparency is in the top portion. So, Chop Shop. Interesting graffiti design. Quite rusted as well. So, let's move over to here. Get a good look at that. So, yeah, to be honest with you, it is reasonably shiny. At least for an older skin. Not too bad, not too bad. So, who here happens to own one of these? Because, yeah, $50. It's been pretty pricey for quite a while now. Like, I'm talking this has probably been one of the more pricier skins in Rust for like the past 10 years. Whilst we're here, can we just get a quick look at this at night time? So, first of all, dusk. I get up close. Not super shiny, not super reflective. It does look nice. And then, of course, total darkness. Well, that took a while for it to snap in, but yep, there you go. It doesn't glow. Maybe you prefer that. Feel free to offer your opinion. Feel free to comment below. But now, let's make it daytime. Because, of course, I want to get up nice and close. Dang. Yeah, you've got to jump. You've got to either stand on something or jump. That might be a little bit concerning for some of you. But yes, I can't just look right through and see someone right there. $50 and you're telling me I've got to jump? Unbelievable. But over to here, yeah, I can see up pretty easily. That's not too much of a problem. Same with over here as well. But how easy is it to look down? Well, to be honest with you, I can see a lot easily right there. I get like a full window of vision. And of course, same to here as well. Honestly, both. So either side, whichever way you place your garage door, the vision is equal and the vision is good. And of course underneath, you can't see a thing. Nope. So, alright, cool. But then of course up to here, well, there you go. You only made it harder. I can't see. I need a ladder. But then from here, yeah, it's still the same thing, isn't it? You're better off trying to look through the gap there. I think I see a shadow. So, yeah, probably best used if you're to build in such a way like this. But when it's like this, yeah, not so much. Are you a chop shop enjoyer? Make your presence known. Feel free to comment below. This is where certain people are going to start thinking, oh, wow, I never knew they had transparency. This right here is the Cobalt Space Door. It's been around for a very long time. And right now, it's barely $1. It's just a little bit cheaper than $1. But as we flick over to here, I can confirm to you this just so happens to be one of La Crempe's ever so lovely skins. And when we get in game, when we get up close, you're going to be surprised. So I'm not joking when I say 97 cents. But after this video, once people learn, well, let's see what happens next. So let's hop in game and give it a good look. Now, unless you actually stand right next to it and look at it with your own eyes, you probably looked on the Steam market, saw the picture and thought, nah, that's got no transparency. But when you're in game, you notice that, oh, there happens to be a few gaps here. It's not exactly perfectly aligned, again, by design. It's a little bit jumbled, again, by design. There's tiny little gaps that you can easily see through if you just so happened to walk right up to it. Ha! And the transparency, it's pretty useful in various different ways you might build your base. So, okay, that's pretty interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people happen to appreciate the Cobalt designs. So let's go ahead and make this slightly darker. It is dusk. And it's not too reflective, not really. No. You even got a few holes here, just noticed. Not sure if they could be super helpful. Let's go ahead and make it total darkness. No glow. So, yeah, that's pretty easy to see. But is it pretty easy to see through? Haha. When I walk right up to it. I can actually see the body right there. So you might think, Hedge, why are they all wearing wetsuits? Because it's pretty easy to distinguish compared to the background. I see two legs, I see a body. And I don't really see the head. So again, it's quite varied how helpful the transparency might be. But that's just like standard garage door. If I'm trying to specifically look upwards, I can see there's a chest right there. I can see. So, okay, cool. And pretty much the same thing here as well. But if I was on top, as I'm looking down, yep, I do happen to get a pretty decent amount of vision. Just imagine this. How easy is it for people to notice quickly enough is someone standing right, like crouching right next to here? Because I can see someone standing right there pretty easily. Are they going to notice me easily? Imagine if it was slightly darker on the other side. Indoors. Alright then. So that actually looks to be pretty helpful. And same here as well. Same amount of visibility. Quite helpful indeed. Now, of course, when we're over to here, we do have a little bit of vision here. I can just about see someone. Yeah, I can see them. Yep. So, alright. That's pretty good. What about over to here, though? On this side. It's not super obvious, but yeah, if I stand on this side, yeah, I can see there's some legs there. I can see someone's hiding. Yep, yes I can. So, yeah. Were you surprised with this garage door? Did you even notice the transparency before? Pretty cool. And I believe there's a few more garage doors like this that a lot of people are going to be quite surprised by. I can't help but assume maybe a lot of people are probably a lot more aware of the Checkpoint garage door. It's another X-Tab skin. And this actually has a collection. Oh, wow, look at that. So this is also priced at around $5 at the moment. Perfectly fine vintage skin from the past. And yeah, $5. It's old. It was in demand before. this isn't really that much of a surprise. So let's hop in game, give it a good look, and let's see if the vision is pretty easy to see through. Yeah, that kind of, yeah, that's a lot of sky, but below, not seeing much here. So yep, lots of vision in the top portion once again. Oh, I'm gonna have to jump for this, aren't I? Yep, yes you are. So okay, cool. Only in the top portion it appears. Should be too hard to comprehend. So let's go ahead and just quickly find out, are you super reflective at all? Dusk. Let's get up nice and close. Fairly reflective. It's not too bad. Does it happen to glow in the dark? No. So yeah, I did give you the warning a few skins ago. Quite a lot of these older garage doors do not glow in the dark. They only have transparency. But again, I think quite a lot of people might be quite impressed and happy to know about that. If you wish to be a little bit more discreet, you don't want your garage door to be glowing. Alright, so I can just about see there's someone over there. And when I'm down, I can look up and see someone's there perfectly fine. The vision is perfectly fine. So, looking downwards, same. Yeah, that honestly might be a little bit better than what we saw over there with the chop shop. Yeah, that's honestly like tons of vision. It's just like a clear window almost. Wow. What's your opinion? Do you reckon I'm bigging it up just a little bit too much? It's $5. It's not like it's super cheap. But it is a lot more affordable compared to Chop Shop. So I'm sure you'd agree with that. Right. And yeah, no, I can't make use of that. Let's jump up here. It's the same thing. I'm better off trying to see if I can notice a shadow in the gap there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see there's someone over there. But we're not trying to look for you. We're trying to find if we can see this guy. Right, well, at $5, to be honest with you, if you're building a certain way, that could be very, very handy. Okay, now it's time for some trash. What? No, it's called Trash Garage Door. Ah, okay, fair enough. Now, this also happens to be one of the earlier skins Little Ranger made. I'm sure many of you are fully well aware of their many collections, such as Abyss Collection, such as Dragon Rage. Ooh. So, yeah, another transparent garage door right here in front of you. And this is currently priced at around $4. So, let's hop in game and give it a good look. That doesn't look like trash. That's pretty grounded. That's pretty cool. I've always questioned, do people prefer the super flashy, super shiny skins? Or do they want something that looks quite literally like something they would make themselves? The island, it doesn't have a lot of resources. You make best of what you got. Used a stop sign. I mean, it's protection. It's protection. Right, so let's go ahead and give this a good look at dusk time. Yeah. Somewhat reflective to a point there. I do like the little windows there, but you can't see through them, of course. But you do have all the vision up here. So, let's make it total darkness. Can't see a thing. So, yeah. No glow. No worries. And if we were to just quickly pan over to here. Yeah. Again, based on what we've seen with a few of these garage doors already. Considering the transparency is literally at the very top in this particular instance. Is that actually be helpful? We just saw checkpoint. That was pretty good. But is trash going to be super helpful? I'm having doubts on this particular instance here. Right, go on then. POV. So, yeah, probably not the best if you're trying to look. But over to here, just looking straight up. That right there, perfect. But then again, I will sit here and say I kind of prefer checkpoint. I could see more of the body. I'm very grateful right now that he's wearing that hat because Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to see that much more. Like, you could probably hide by crouching in front of that. But of course, with so much more vision from the top, I mean, you don't see that much below. I could clearly see there's someone there. That is not a problem. 100% that is not a problem. But I guess maybe you probably would prefer the window of vision to be slightly lower. Well, you're the viewer. You tell me. Feel free to comment below. And if you really care, no, you can't see a thing. You cannot see a thing down here. Much like the checkpoint garage door. Much like chop shops. And, yeah. Not going to happen. You can't see a thing. Up here I go. I jump. Try and look down. No, nothing there. So, yeah. Only in the top. And again, probably only helpful if you're looking up or if you're looking down at an elevated level. Or lower level. You get the idea. Next up, it's another fairly well-known transparent garage door. We have the cargo truck garage door. With it being fairly well-known, it's also quite pricey. Now, this also happens to be another stabby skin. And you might notice, oh, we've seen similar positions of transparency already. But that's actually a very good question. How does it fare compared to some of the other garage doors that we've already seen? Because this, at $17, that's quite pricey. Transparency in the upper portion once again. So it's probably obvious what we're about to witness. I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably better suited with a jump up like so. Whether you're looking up or down, that is where you get most of the vision. Because unfortunately, I'm quite short. And I can't just easily walk over and look down. Right then, let's go ahead and showcase this in dusk. So, let's make it slightly darker. Let's get up nice and close. This isn't very reflective. In fact, if I had to just make it a little bit more brighter. Yeah, it's quite rusty. Stabby, you didn't do a very good job painting this. Unbelievable. Joking, it's all by design. He wanted it to be used, worn out and whatnot. A little bit rusted. You get the idea. And of course, total darkness. No glow. So, alright, another one like that then. And as I've already said, another garage door with transparency in the upper portion. You probably know how I'm going to react. I'm short. Anyway, jump. So, quite literally, you might need to stand on something. Get yourself like a little mini table here, a little step ladder perhaps. But yeah, it's not going to be very helpful just by walking in front of it. However, if you build in a certain way, you can get a perfectly fine amount of vision. Same on this side as well. I can easily see who's there. And of course, looking downwards as well, I can pretty easily see who's there. So we just pointed out previously with the trash garage door, if it's too high up, you're not going to really see that much, or at least not that much better. Checkpoint garage door was the same. So, alright, cool. But $17, it's quite pricey. But again, it's definitely more like one of the more well-known transparent garage doors. After this video, well, sorry to say, but I think we found some other options. I was trying to be all smart, and I didn't mean to end it so quickly. Just want to point out that, yeah, I can't see down. You're thinking, oh yeah, I could just end it right there. No, you got to still look at it. Got to put an effort in. Right, so yeah, clearly no transparency in the bottom portion. You could try best to look up, but yeah. Right then, so let's see if the price holds up after this. I want a global garage door. Oh, but it's too pricey. Shut up. The point I'm trying to get across is there's other options out there. Much more affordable options. I also want to make an effort to point out that some garage doors out there you probably don't even realise have transparency. And this very likely is going to be one of them. Did you know Bandit garage door has transparency? Well, you're about to see it with your own eyes. So as I can scroll down, yep, you've got a little collection here. That rug is doing very nicely, wow. But focusing this, yep, it's another Le Cramp skin. It's a very interesting design. It's been around for years. But how many people actually realised this has transparency? I'm guessing not a lot, because right now it's priced at $1. $1 on the Steam market. Well, we'll see what happens in the future, but how about we hop in game, give it a good look, and you're about to find out how much transparency it actually has. Now, in this particular instance, it's very specific. You might be sitting there and wondering, is there like a really tiny hole or something? Is it like hidden in the corner or something? What could it be? What could it be? Oh, bullet holes? No, no. You can't see through them. Maybe if you look at it from the side. No. No. What on earth could it be? Well, I had to put a standard garage door next to it just to kind of really emphasize the point. It's when you look up. What? It's when you look up. When I look up from here, yeah, you might just about be able to see just a little bit of a gap right there, but you can't really see it when you're like first person. Oh, okay, there you go, yeah. This has transparency specifically at the bottom, in which this is how you best might want to utilize it and whatnot. Huh. Be honest, did you not know about that? And it's not going to be the only design like this. We do have another one just after this. So what we should do right now is we go ahead and just get a good look at this dusk time. So yeah, dusk or dawn, you get the idea. Are you reflective? Quite a bit actually, not too bad. Get a good look at that. Does it happen to glow in the dark? Well, yeah. These older garage doors don't happen to glow very nicely, do they? Glow very nicely. They haven't glowed at all. So, alright, fair enough. Let's go back to daytime. Let's go in my body. Oh, hey cargo, how you doing? So it's probably pointless even bothering to like look at this up close. Like, oh, maybe if we just look really hard, you might be able to see it. No, no, come on now. Let's just immediately go up to there. So, just to confirm, can't crouch down or anything. There's no transparency at the bottom, which I can utilize in such a way. You have to build up like so. So for a standard garage door, yeah, I can just about see through that, to be honest with you. If you're to build in such a way anyway, you probably don't even need to skin it. But for a simple dollar, come on now, you do get quite a decent amount of vision right there. It might not be the absolute best, but hey, we're learning something here. Right, let's go over to here. And yeah, honestly, that vision's not too bad compared to the standard garage door over there. Yeah, no, it's pretty alright. So, well then. What's your opinion? Do you like it? Are you a fan? Will you actively be trying to use this now from here on now? Be honest. Did you know this had transparency? So in the past we have seen like a large box there. This was accepted about 8 years ago. And if I could just switch, it's another little Ranger skin. Didn't turn into much of a collection, but hey, now that we've addressed it here, now that we're highlighting it here, maybe we could see some more danger skins there. We'll see, we'll see. It's only $1.30. It is literally only $1.30. It's not getting that much attention. It is below its Rust Door price. But after today, could we see some interesting changes? And of course, like what we just saw a second ago, it's pretty much the exact same thing here as well. For you to see this garage door up close, you're not going to see any transparency just by looking at it this way. You've got to crouch down and look up through here. Ah, there you go. So just a little gap right there happens to be quite a bit more useful in comparison to the gap we have here. That's it. That is literally it. So, yeah. A little unknown feature that maybe a lot of people will appreciate from here and now. Let's go ahead and make it slightly darker. So, yep, dusk. Let's get up close. You are not shiny. You are not shiny, no. You're just rusted. You're fairly old. But it's an interesting, grounded approach. So, alright, cool. And, of course, it doesn't glow in the dark. Well, it's not going to be super obvious, is it? But with these older garage doors, we've basically... Yeah, it's a common trend here. We know. Alright, anyway. So, back to daytime. I'll switch over to here. But it's the exact same thing. Like, the whole thing again, what we just saw at the Bandit garage door. Sorry if I'm losing my tongue. It's a bit late. Good job, Hedge. Leaving it till now. But yes, that's not going to be super helpful like so. I have to get up nice and close, crouch, and then I can see the vision. And even then, to be honest with you, it's not exactly super helpful. You better hope someone's like literally standing right next to it. So, okay. Understood. We'll go over to here. Whoop. And it's a nice little pocket of vision. But I can't help but, I can't help but assume that what we just saw over there had a little bit more, was a little bit more useful. But we still had to address it. We still had to include it. So, alright then. Cool. Well, you got a mention. Let's see if you get any love. Will you love it? Will you appreciate it? Or are you just going to neglect it? Now we enter the era where Hedge was streaming, posting videos on YouTube. And if I can recall, this is the Garage Door skin where I started learning with Micro about like all the transparent garage doors, how you might look at them. Basically, with the old video from 4 years ago, that's what led me to, recording the whole video there. And this is special. This is TGG's collection. Obviously, he doesn't get skins accepted anymore. He now actually works for Face Punch. So, okay, that's a pretty extensive collection. And you might notice a certain few other doors there that we might be seeing later on in this series. Oh, yes, yes. But yeah, it's also pricey. You can probably tell. This is the first garage door that's marketable that happens to glow in the dark. So we switch over to here. As you'll see, it says TGG. Oh, no, it was made by Duck, though. So, made by Duck, but posted by TGG. And that was an instant acceptance. And if I can recall, this did like 22,000 subscribers, which nowadays isn't that ridiculous. But this actually went down in price initially. Went down. A pay-to-win, transparent, glow-in-the-dark garage door, and it went down. After a while, people realised, hang on a minute, that's actually really helpful, really good. And then it started to go up in price. And to be honest with you, at $10, could be higher. Don't worry, I sold all of mine years ago. So, yeah, let's just show the recent sales now, and then look and see how it was initially. So, yeah, let me just hide liquidity, and boom, look at that. But then if I can recall, we got a collection continuation, and then it just shot up. So, at its lowest, this was actually around less than $1.50. Less. But since then, yeah, it's had some... It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. So, let's now hop in game and get a good look at that. The first in a series of Bombshell doors. It's pretty obvious where the transparency is there. That is a lovely window of vision. Yes, indeed it is. And of course, you'll realise, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, the positioning there is really good. Yep. Maybe not in this particular instance. Right. I'm not joking when I say this is the first one that glows that's marketable. First of all, though, dusk, dawn. Get a good look at that. Not the most reflective and shiny, but hey, still looks pretty nice. And of course, bear witness to the first ever marketable glow-in-the-dark garage door transparency. So quite the spectacle, yes. But again, that went down in price. That went down in price initially. I was so confused way back when that was happening. But of course, as time has gone on, it has been appreciated. So, not again. But yeah, you had to jump up a little bit just to be able to get some vision. Still handy, still helpful, but you might want to build in a certain way. No matter what, standing up and just going whoop, you better hope they have big hats. Let's just say that. But again, as I was alluding to, build in a certain way and you can see practically everything you need to see. Either way as well, whether you're looking up or down, that is helpful. That is handy. And I can see quite close all the way up to the door, like up to the wall here. So, yeah. Bombshell Garage Door. I think the price might be justified. You can debate that if you want. But, yeah. Look at that. And of course, over to here, well... Yeah, no, it's not happening. No transparency here. Can't exactly see through that very well. And same thing. No transparency on this side. I might be able to spot a shadow. So, yeah, Bombshell. Quite successful. Quite successful indeed. But of course, as I have basically alluded to, it was the first ever glow-in-the-dark transparent garage door, but it certainly wasn't the last. Because in early 2023, yes, the same month when we had those 2 Twitch drops being given away for absolutely free, the RAD, the hJune Garage Door, boom, Dungeon Garage Door appears. This also happens to glow in the dark, but it has very specific transparency at the bottom. So this was the skin that opened my eyes to transparency in the bottom of garage doors, how they can be utilised in such a way. Once again, thank you very much to Mr. Micro for showcasing that to me years ago. But as we switch over to here, produced by Smoothie, it did develop into a pretty interesting collection. It's been pretty successful. And as you'll see over to here, oh wow, that's $9 now. That has gone up in price recently. In fact, I've got to scroll down. When did that happen? I swear this was like $5 at one point. Wow, you have been going up. Seems people took notice before I started yapping. Wow. Okay, cool. Maybe someone else used it in a video or something. But that's nice. Right then, well. Is it justified? Is it worth that $10 price? Let's hop in game and give it a good look. You know what? It's just dawned on me. It's because we're getting that crypt building skin. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Yep. So if you know, you know. Keep an eye out for May 4 Swipe 2026. Ooh. So very interesting catacomb design. I love the fact that we have the torches here for the glow. Very aesthetically pleasing. But what we're here for, oh yes, the transparency on the bottom. Look at that vision. That is a lot of vision. So yeah, that's proven to be quite helpful. That's looking pretty sweet. But of course, how does it look in dusk time? So let's go ahead and find out. So as I get up nice and close, you can see that metal portion right there in the middle happens to reflect quite nicely. Nothing else though. Not really, no. I guess skulls don't shine. Oh dear. Anyway, a perfectly fine amount of glow. That's a very nice creative touch. So Smoothie, props to you. Maybe we could see more of this collection in the future, again. Especially with that crypt building skin on the horizon. I had to go send him a message. But what's your opinion? What do you think? Now if I could just pan over to here. I'm sure you could probably guess that, yeah, no, you can't really utilise the transparency in the bottom. But it is quite noticeable. Like, with the previous ones with transparency in the bottom, you couldn't even see anything. At the very least, you can see how there's transparency. But, again, you can't utilise that. So, okay. Cool. Understood. Simply staring at it like so probably isn't going to be the best way to get, you know, a good look. As much as I crouch, I can't see. I can't see. And then over to here, yeah. You can't really see anything. Again, you might sit there and say, Hedge, why are you even bothering? It helps that I just do it so people don't even bother questioning, you know. Oh, Hedge, you might be able to see something. Well, I'm proving to you no. No. Right. And of course, look at all that vision. Look at all that vision. So, what do you think? Fairly unique compared to the other garage doors we've seen so far. That is a ton of vision. But it's only at the bottom. So, will you manage to maintain that $9 to $10 price? It was more like $9. I got it wrong a little bit earlier. But yes, we'll see. Interesting stone building skin on the horizon. And a very interesting video showcasing how much transparency it has. Cool. And from Duck, we have the shipping container garage door, which was perfectly timed for the release of the shipping container building skin. Ah, yes. So, alright, cool. Sold at $2.49, but it hasn't retained its value. It might have sold a little bit too much. That was the problem. Lots of shipping container themed doors were bought out in anticipation for the sheet metal building skin, and well, when they saw this in the Rust store with its first appearance, yeah, people went a little bit too crazy. But as time has gone on, it has slowly started to creep back up in price. So at its worst, it was kind of teetering at around $1. There has been improvement, but it's still basically almost half its price. Maybe after today, once people realise this has transparency, maybe it might be appreciated a little bit more. Alright, so maybe it sold just a little bit too much. That just means a lot more people can go ahead and find out that this has an interesting bit of transparency. But where is it? Where's the transparency? Can you see it? Do you spot it? Yeah, it's another finicky sort of situation. So as we look over to here, as we look up, as we look down, as we look to the sides, yet again, it's another instance where you can only see it like so. Huh. It's literally in each of the corners. That's it. That's it. Wow. It still counts. It does still count. So, alright, cool. How'd you look at dusk? Let's go ahead and find out. Somewhat reflective with these metal bars here. Yeah. But, oh, look at that. But the paint's worn off. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Does it happen to glow in the dark? No. No, no glow, no glow. So, okay, fair enough. Let's just scroll this all the way back again. So, yeah. Literally just transparency in these two corners. I'm not sure if that's going to be super helpful. But, you know, it's not exactly super expensive either, is it? So, just saying. You could probably just about notice them. In the bottom right corners there, bottom left corner. I don't think when it's just like this, you're going to be able to utilise and make use of the transparency there. No, sorry to say. But here, yeah, I could get a quick little sneaky view of you. Again, you might have to have some space this side, because you do have to go like all the way around. Same applies to this side, of course, as well. But when you're looking through here, again, you also have to have some space here just to be able to see like a foot. There's someone there. I can tell. I can see those frog booties. So, the most helpful option? Probably not. But it does have transparency. It does count. So, alright then. There you have it. Shipping container garage door has a little bit of transparency. It's debatable if it's helpful, though. You knew that this was going to appear. I'm sure many of you are fully well aware of the Brutalist door skins. We will be seeing a lot more of this in the future, don't you worry. We still have a sheet metal door and an armoured door video to do. This is currently priced at just over $10. This actually sold in the Ruster at $4 a piece. But there's a reason, because that has transparency. That also glowed in the dark. Face Punch knew that was special. And funnily enough, yep, 2 in a row for Mr. Duck. 2 sort of approaches in a row. Because, well, with the shipping container building skin, he made a garage door. And with the Brutalist building skin, he made a garage door. And lo and behold, they got accepted. Seems like a smart plan. So yep, can confirm this has been around for about 3 years now. Sold a fairly decent amount, if I can recall, almost 30,000 subscribers. But yeah, people liked it, people wanted it, and ever since it's been available, that has slowly been going up in price more and more and more and more. It kind of helped with the fact that we also got sequels after it. So yeah, you get the idea. Is it worth the price? Well, let's hop in game and give it a good look, and you can offer your opinion. Do I really need to say any words? Just observe. Now, with this being the first door skin to be accepted for Brutalist, it doesn't have transparency in the bottom. That's something we do see with the future doors, and I'm very much looking forward to showcasing them. But yep, this has been around for a solid 3 years now, and people have in fact been appreciating it ever so nicely. Oh, I think I went the wrong way round, but oh well, that's fine. Let's just go around this side then. Sorry about that, son. I didn't mean to put you on the other side, but yep, it is actually somewhat reflective there. The dusk light, oh, it's looking pretty. But of course, how does this look in total darkness? I don't need to say words. I do not need to say words. But you can comment below. So, alright, cool. That looks nice. Let's now just fix the sun. Let's put it that side instead. And, of course, let's go ahead, get a quick look. Like so. Look at the vision we have there. But, of course, based on how we look at things in our bodies compared to what we see in third person, It is different, so we're going to have to go ahead and test that out in a second. But yeah, looking pretty good. Does it have the exact same height of transparency as Bombshell? Got to go ahead and find out, don't we? I'm short. I can't help it. I was made this way. I'm so sorry, but I am short and I have to jump just to be able to see through it. But again, stand on something, jump on top of something, you get the idea. Or, of course, build in a way in which it proves to be a whole lot more helpful. Look at that vision. There's hardly anything obstructing it. You've got like a huge gap right there. You might have a bit of cement right there, a bit of concrete, but honestly, that is probably the most vision we have seen out of all the garage doors today. Now, you can debate that if you want. You can offer your own opinion. But yeah, just to confirm, no, I can't see below. But I certainly can see when I'm looking down from here. Oh yeah. So looking up, looking down. Perfectly positioned transparency. That is effective. That is useful. That is helpful. So alright then. Unfortunately, as I stand here, not the best. Nah. But I'm not joking when I say, with the future Brutalist skins, we happen to have some transparency in the bottom, and that's going to be quite interesting. Yep. So, okay. I would respect it. I can understand why it's a higher price. It has a very bright glow-in-the-dark skin, which is quite suspicious. Like, you probably, at first glance, would have assumed it glowed in the dark, let alone be very bright at night time, but hey, that's the special thing about Brutalist. That's probably part of the reason why people happen to appreciate it. So, feel free to offer your opinion. And now let's move on to the next skin. So after talking about garage doors made in reference to building skins, this right here was made based on the DLC. Back in late 2023, we got the Frontier Decor Pack. A very interesting indoor interior design sort of approach. The first ever instance of barrels. People liked it. Well, Mr. Morphus here, he made an interesting design to follow up with that. He made some doors. Now, for quite some time, these doors didn't do super great. But as time has passed on, oh, these have been slowly going up in value. That sheep in the door is now pushing up to $4. This garage door is now selling for just over $5. So yep, get a good look at that. There were attempts for more sequels, but hey, we'll see what happens in the future. You never know. And then, of course, as we go over to here, just over $5 at the moment. I certainly hope I don't have to jump. Alright, so, an interesting wooden approach. Don't worry, a Molotov's not going to destroy that super quickly. It's still a garage door. So, quite well crafted, I guess you could say. Yeah. An interesting design. How rustic. So let's just go over to here. Yep. I think it's pretty obvious where this is going to probably benefit most on. Let's get a good look at you then. Let's go to dusk. Let's get a good close-up look at you. Somewhat reflective here in the metal portion of the garage door. With the wood though, not too much it seems. Okay. How does it look in total darkness though? Ah, back to non-glowing transparent garage doors. Well, I don't think anyone's going to be super upset about that. But initially, these rustic doors, they did suffer. Probably due to that fact. Probably because it appeared somewhat recently, just after, you know, Brutalist appeared, so it's working out now. That's what matters, I guess. Let's see if I have to jump. I have to jump. I'm so short. Why? Why? Just stand on something. No, I shouldn't have to jump. The Twitch drops didn't have to make me jump so much. Well, they were a little bit pay to win, even though they're free. But look at this. Built in such a way, and again, perfect amount of vision. Same can be said over to here. And when you jump up to here, yeah, a perfectly fine amount of vision right there. No problems, no issues. Looking pretty sweet. Alright then. Nope, you're not going to see anything as you walk through and look through here. No, no. And unfortunately, when you try and look through here, yeah, that's not going to happen. No super sneaky hidden transparency in the bottom here. But still, it's a very nice looking door. And then, of course, or jump still. Got to jump just to be able to see just a little bit more. Right then. So opinions, please. What do you think about Frontier Rustic Garage Door? Now it's time for Junkernaught. As you can see, we've had a few skins being accepted. We might happen to have certain other skins that we might be talking about later on in this overall series. Yep, this is produced by Mr. Fuff. As we go over to here, get a good look at that. That's quite explosive. Sorry. But yeah, the transparency is pretty obvious. And right now, that's priced at just below $6. A pretty interesting glow-in-the-dark transparent design once again. Is the transparency actually helpful though? So it's got a pretty interesting rusted, mechanical, industrial approach. And it's got a very obvious window of transparency. But it is quite small, I guess you could say. Is that enough? Well, we'll test that in a second. But first of all, I'd just like to quickly go ahead. Quick look at dusk. Might notice the bit of shine right there in the cracked screen. The metal portions overall, not super shiny, not super reflective. But how does it look in total darkness? Well, as we mentioned, this does happen to glow in the dark. So perfectly, like, fine amount of vision perhaps. A very bright glow in the dark garage door. Are we surprised to see it's priced at around $6? So, okay, cool. Let's make it daytime again. Come on, so what happened there? There you go, sorry. Go. Over to here. Oh, look at the placement of the transparency. Look at that. And then, yep. Look at that. Now, can you look through that? That is the question. Can you turn around? No, they don't want to. Go on then, let's get to my body. No, I gotta jump. I gotta jump. Jump like a chump. Oh dear. Right, well, at least you are aware. But if you're to build in a certain way, is that helpful? Well, based on what I see here, yeah, that is pretty helpful. That honestly looks to be a perfectly fine amount of transparency if you're going to build in such a way like so. Same here as well, of course. Yep. What about if you're looking down? Well, I mean, I see legs, I see a body. I just got to walk back a bit. Yeah, I can spot you. I can see you. I can see if you're up to naughty business. Well. Yeah, not too bad. It's actually a perfectly fine amount of transparency. But then, of course, as we go over to here... Oh. Yeah, it's not happening. And, of course, same thing. Yeah, got to jump just to be able to see through it. Honestly, it's a pretty cool, unique approach. A very mechanical, metallic design. I was kind of under the impression people didn't like it that much. What makes you say that? This did get cheap. At one point, it was selling for less than $1.50. But we did happen to see some interesting sequels recently, and, well, suddenly it's gone up in price. But what do you think? Now it's time for Protector. The positioning of the transparency does seem to be quite similar compared to what we just saw with Junkernaught. This also did turn into quite the collection. Oh, look at that. A few more doors. Interesting. Well, again, you might be seeing them in the future. Now, as I switch over to here, that right there, produced by Upor and Hyper Monster, turned into quite the successful collection. Quite a lot of skins are in the positive. Right now, this is priced at $4. It actually managed to go up in price. And so there, let's hop in game, give it a good look, and you can tell me how much you like it. Cool, that one's shiny. Well then, you might notice the transparency right here. Seems quite secure. I might be able to squeeze my fingers through there anyway. What? Anyway, metallic, shiny. Okay. Now the positioning, yeah. After looking at the Junkernaught, I thought surely that's the same. Yeah, that's got about the same amount of transparency. Okay. Cheaper than Junkernaught. Perhaps people might take a liking to this. Now, I'm about to be vindicated. I had someone here saying, Hedge, do you really need to just like look at this around dusk time just to see if it's shiny? Yes, look at it. Witness it. Witness the shine. Witness it. Look at that. It took about 20 garage doors, but we finally have one that's actually shiny. I feel happy to shut up. Anyway, total darkness. And there we go. A perfectly fine glowing in the dark design. And a perfectly fine amount of transparency. Oh, look, there you go. I can see Junkernaught in the background. Lovely. But, do I have to jump? You probably know I have to jump. You know I have to jump, don't you? So, alright, come on in. Let's go ahead. Just make me jump. Yeah, I gotta jump. The transparency isn't super helpful. If I have to jump, that means I have to put effort in. Boo! I'm joking. Anyway, yep. To be honest with you, the Junkernaught did have a lot more open vision, quite literally. Like, there's nothing really obstructing it. But it's still visible. I can see that. And it is cheaper. It is considerably cheaper. So, okay. I guess we'll take that as an answer. It's cheaper. Surely that's still alright with you, right? I mean, if you keep going side to side, you can see everything perfectly fine. Yeah, it works. So, okay, cool. And of course, over here, you probably realised, yeah, there's no transparency really at the bottom. Quite shiny. I'm going to hurt my eyes. I can't see through that. Whilst I'm capable of seeing through this, unfortunately, I've got to keep jumping. Well, do you happen to like nice and shiny garage doors? Or did Hedge waste his time having to put an effort in just to see if they're quite shiny and reflective? And here we have Fireflies garage door. A pretty interesting approach in regards to transparency. When you see it, you'll see it. This also happens to glow in the dark as well. This happens to have a pretty interesting collection behind it. So, let's just switch over to here. Let us point out this was produced by Himic and Zinc. A very interesting green design. How quaint, how lovely. And as we'll see over here, oh, it's $3.45. And it looks like it could rise up in price if you don't keep your eyes on it. Just saying. Anyway, let's go hop in game and give it a good look. Yeah, it's got a pretty interesting sort of garden aesthetic to it. What with all the fireflies on it as well. And do you notice all the transparency? Various different holes. But more specifically, we have holes at the bottom. So, when we look in the last section over there, you'll see, oh wow, that's actually quite a lot of vision. But you have vision all over. You might just be able to spot someone in various different builds, depending how you've utilised your garage door. So, let's get over to here and you will spot the transparency immediately. That, honestly, is a very good contender when you compare with Dungeon Garage Door. Both of them have plenty of transparency at the bottom that you can clearly see. Okay. It's not just that, it's all over. Well, that certainly is a pretty interesting design, but if it's covered in fireflies, surely this happens to glow in the dark. Come on, dusk. There we go. Right. Are they reflective? Look, after Protector, I feel like I must, out of precaution, just double check and see, hey, is it shiny or anything? Right. This doesn't appear to be very shiny. So, let's go ahead. Showcase it in total darkness. Get a good look at that. How peaceful. Okay then, so let's go ahead and look at it up close. Are the transparent holes actually useful? So, let's take control. Do I have to jump? I could crouch. Oh, but my knees, my knees. But if I were to just like adjust myself and move around, I'd be able to see if someone's moving outside there. That wouldn't be too much of a problem. I have some vision. Not the best vision. And if I go over to this side, you can see where the holes are a little bit better. Yeah, it's fine. It might not be the absolute best in terms of, oh, I need to quickly find out if someone's outside there. You might want to switch to maybe one of the Twitch drops, for example. What we'll do now is we'll switch over to here to these two. So, of course, bottom section, upper section. I mean, with the upper section, yeah, I can see someone's there. Just not the absolute best of vision. Not the best, no. No. But if I just go ahead and look through the here, yeah, I can vaguely see some people there. Not super easy to deduce that, though. Up here, though, as I look down on the people, yes. To be honest with you, I actually can't see that much. That isn't super helpful. You might be able to pull back a bit. It's not easy to see. Okay, that's not exactly the best. Same obviously will be said with this side as well. I mean, if I didn't have someone just standing there for no reason. Don't worry, I'll keep them there. But, yeah, okay. Not the best maybe for these two. But for this, oh yeah, I get tons of vision. That is helpful. And, of course, if I switch over to here and look at it in such a way this way, yep, I also get tons of vision that way as well. So perfectly fine looking, transparent, glow-in-the-dark door. What are your thoughts? Do you consider that to be helpful? Or only specifically at the bottom at least? Feel free to offer your opinion. And now, for a somewhat similar but differing approach. Funnily enough, this was accepted literally the week after Fireflies Garage Door. Yeah. So it kind of caused problems for both. But this one was always kind of alright. This one was cheaper. Okay, fair enough. But an interesting detail is, first of all, let's just address that we have had some skins before this. And of course, we switch over to here. This is produced by Cubist. This happens to have some pretty interesting and useful transparency. But it's kind of situational. When you see it yourself, you understand. So it's perfectly in the positive. It doesn't glow in the dark. Is it an interesting, discrete design that you might want to put on a base that you're trying to hide in the jungle, for example? Surely no one will spot this. Surely no one will notice I'm hiding in the jungle. But instantly you'll notice we have transparency right there. But was it obvious that we also happen to have transparency down here? Yeah, much like what we saw with the ship and container garage door. This also happens to have transparency in both the corners. So that was a pretty interesting comparison to do. We're debating whether Fireflies or this right here was a better option. It's debatable in regards to what you want. So, you know, dusk. Nothing here is super shiny. No portion of it is super reflective. And of course, as we've already pointed out, this doesn't glow in the dark. It doesn't want to be seen. Whereas over there, once again, Fireflies, all that glows. And it's quite pretty. But I guess if you're going with a certain theme, maybe it's best avoided if it doesn't glow. So, cool, fair enough. So with the positioning of the transparency, once again, oh, okay. Maybe it'll be appreciated over to here. Am I going to have to jump? I think it's obvious, isn't it? You're not tall, Hedge. You gotta jump. So, right then. Let's just prove it. Look at me. Look at me dance for you. Look at all the stupid things I do for views. But yeah. That's pretty good. Yep. But of course, probably a lot better suited for jump ups. However, there's a bit of a problem. You better hope they're up close. Otherwise, you're probably not going to see them very easily when you're looking upwards. Of course, same in regards to this approach as well. So, front or back, same sort of vision. And, you know, if you are walking up close to it, you can see more than enough. I can tell she's there. I see no problems. If they have their back turned, right, yeah, you'll be able to get a quick look at them and then pull away. So, yep, the vision here is reasonably okay. I don't think I'm going to be too upset with that. Yep. Here as well. Pretty cool. But, oh, cool. I think I just did my back in there. I lost a few frames. Oh, there you go. Much better. Alright. Oh. Come on, Hedge. It's the last one. Can't see much. But I can see down. Now, again, you better hope you have some space here. Otherwise, you might not be able to get that much. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a concern. So I can't really see that much. Unless they're in the corner as well. You can't really see. Overall, I have no issue with it. I understand what the theme was. And I think they did a pretty good job with it. So, I'm done. I sincerely hope I actually managed to showcase every single transparent garage door. I repeat, if I've made a mistake, look below, look at the pinned comments for this video right now. There you go. If there was a mistake, if I did miss the skin, it would be right there. And of course, future garage door skins with transparency would be posted there as short videos. Let's hop out of here then and wrap up the video. So yeah, that's basically a wrap. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. Again, I did warn you, skip ahead. I did warn you. Everything should be listed in the description. I've got a lot of work to do now. I've got to go grab all that. I've got to go put that all in there. But we'll see how things pan out in the future for garage doors, notably the ones that we just talked about. Will we start to notice prices improving? Well, by default, that was already happening. Quite a lot of the garage doors we saw today, they were doing quite alright initially, but in recent years, well, more people playing and more people appreciating the pay-to-win features, the transparency, of course they've been slowly going up in price. That really shouldn't be that much of a surprise. But after today, well, we'll see if people find this video helpful. We'll see if it actually gets somewhere. I was quite surprised to see the previous see-through mesh garage door video actually managed to get up to about 16,000 views. Again, I always felt guilty that it only showed off a few of the skins. But back then, that's all we had. But now, well, you saw the length of the video. We were here for quite some time. There was quite a lot more skins this time. How about we actually go ahead and look at all of them right now? So here we are on stage. Look at all of that. Sorry that these guys turned around. I hopped out the server. I came back in and they all just flipped. But, you know, it's all the same positions. That wasn't that much of a problem. So it started off with the Twitch drops and, of course, the charity skin. Some very nice looking designs. And then we just kept looking at more and more and more and more. And I can't even get the sun all the way around, so I'd have to do a full 360 now just so we could get a good look at this side. But one thing occurred to me. I should probably roll these up as well just to see if they glow in the dark. I thought that would be a nice thing to do. So all of these today were showcased in order of acceptance. Independently, Twitch drops, and the charity skin. They were all in order. So let's just get a good look at this. Wow, you might notice the RAD Garage Door does happen to glow a little bit at the bottom there. Ooh. Over to here, there appears to be no glow there. Charity skin does glow slightly. You can see that there. Okay. Yeah, the Restoria one was pretty cool. Very bright red and still bright red. And Rusticated. Rusticated also glowed ever so nicely as well. So, okay. That's pretty good in regards to the charity skin, the Twitch drops. But what about all the marketable garage doors? Well, with the first few being really old, none of them glowed. And as I keep scrolling past, yep, the first several, they don't glow. And we'll probably have to get up to about Bombshell to start to notice, oh look, it did a bit of glow. Now, I think this is actually dungeon. So let's just go ahead and find that out. That is the dungeon garage door, confirmed. That is the first instance of a marketable garage door that glows when it's rolled up. Just to confirm, more specifically in like the side panels on the interior portion. And if you just look at it at a certain angle, you might notice a little bit of a flicker of light, or rather what appears to be light. It's glow. It's emission layer. So then we keep moving over to here. We move over to here. Still no glow. We move over to here. No, no. Oh, look at that. Is that protector? Is that the super shiny protector? I can't tell because the... Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah. That's protector. Thank you for being shiny. You made it all worth it. And then we have these two. I'd just like to confirm. Fireflies does not happen to glow. Interesting. I'm quite surprised. I was actually expecting at least a decent amount to light up. Based on what I see here at a certain angle, it looks as if that did happen to have a little bit of glow, especially if you go over to here. But it's not like helpful. So, alright, cool. Bonus points for Protector. That one actually sticks out quite nicely. Hedge, please stop the video. You're going on for too long. There's only so much you can say. Oh, I could go on longer. But to spare you. Alright, let's finish. So once again, thank you very much for watching the video. Let's see if we see any more garage doors with pay-to-win features in the future. And of course, if that does happen, check for the pinned comment down below, and there should be short videos there. Good. I'm done. I'm finished. I've been doing this for several hours. Could you tell by how lively I am? Right. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.